Hey everybody, I'm Kathy Weiss, one half of the Entrepreneur Oracle. My friend and fellow intuitive Andrea Rickett and I have come together to help entrepreneurs, business owners, or people who are thinking about becoming one navigate the wild ride of emotions that comes along with being your own boss. We're doing that by creating a series of oracle decks, and the first one is all about spiritual support for entrepreneurs. You can get your hands on that deck before anybody else over at entrepreneurauracle.com, along with all kinds of other generous and amazing rewards and offers from some of our favorite and most talented fellow entrepreneurs like Katy Chen Mazzara. Katy, thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
Oh, my pleasure. This is so fun.
It is so fun, and we just found out that we have something in common, and we both have lived in the same area of Southern California, so I feel like now I'm talking to a soul sister today. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Let me tell everybody a little bit about you. So Katy is a certified financial coach and graduate of UC Berkeley's personal finance planning program. As a former journalist, TV producer, and award-winning documentary filmmaker, Katy understands the balance between dreaming and doing. She helps creative types and those with inconsistent incomes make more money, pay off debts, and achieve financial freedom so that they can create the life they truly want to live. That is like, I think all of us need somebody like you in our lives sometimes, Katy. And you have a really awesome and generous reward for some of our friends who grabbed the Entrepreneur Oracle deck. Can you tell us a little bit about what you have to offer?
Yeah, I'm offering a 1 hour financial coaching session with me. This will help you to get through your blocks, any money blocks that you may have, because a lot of times when you start your business, it's so important for you to really understand your money blocks so that you can release them and actually start to bring in even more money into your life, right? And then during the session, we can also take a look at any practical stuff that you may need with your finances in your business and or in your personal life as well.
I think that's so valuable. Right before we hit record, we were talking about how, as entrepreneurs, we are really focused on our area of expertise. And because we're experts, there's sort of this weird, like, background feeling like we think we have to be experts at all of it. Right? And it's really, especially if we're working in any field outside of finance, I feel like all entrepreneurs need that sort of guidance and eyes on
Yeah,
us a little bit. Do
yeah.
you find that sometimes entrepreneurs struggle with, like, admitting that the finances are difficult for them or receiving that kind of help?
Well, it depends, right? Like, I think most of the time people understand that, like, in order to have a real successful business, you really have to take a look at, financially what's going on. And so there is that understanding. However, it doesn't mean that it's easy. It
Yeah.
means that, a lot of times people are very, emotionally tied into what they have been doing. Or they're just afraid of looking at it. We don't know, right? When we don't, there's something that we don't know about, and finances may be one of them, then we're less likely to want to do it in the beginning. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of fear that comes along with it. And I always say that, like, your financial life is also a reflection of your emotional life. So, sometimes when your emotions are, running rampant, then, it's also harder for you to really sit down and say, okay, you know what, it's time to look at my financial life and really create that freedom for myself.
That makes so much sense. And so much about what our Oracle deck is doing for people is helping them to navigate the emotions that come along with being your own boss. And money is such a huge aspect of that. So this is like an amazing offer that I feel like everybody needs to run over there and grab before we run out of them for people. I would love to switch gears and ask you a few questions specifically about your business. Sound good? So the
Yeah.
way the way that your business is right now today, what would you do more of?
Hmm. I actually think I would do more in-person events, especially, if we weren't in a pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I love meeting people in real life. I love there's a sense of community that is one of my core values.
Mm.
And so I would do a lot more in-person events, in-person workshops, speaking, those kinds of things.
We will keep our eyes on that for 2021. Probably we're going to be doing a whole lot of digital stuff
Yeah.
this year. But yeah, I agree that there is a feeling that comes from in person, that even with the blessing that we have with our digital platforms right now, that is sometimes missing. So
I would
um,
also probably hire more people, and expand my business, and then mentor more too.
I love that, because we can't do it, right? We were saying also before we started recording, we really can't do this alone. We need each other, and we need people who are experts in other areas in order to really like fully
Yeah.
flourish and succeed.
Yeah. Like
I
I
love
was
that.
saying, like I always need help with the health aspects of things. So I have my own like health coach. That's,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. I love that you said you would hire more people. Like, yeah, I just want to be like, yeah, you go. Do it. Is there anything in your business the way it is right now that you would do less of?
I'm sure that a lot of entrepreneurs would agree with this. I would do less emails. I would spend less time in my email inbox.
I totally get that. Yeah. And but it is also a way that we connect with people. So it's a little bit of that like push pull. I hear you. I feel like I want to brainstorm ideas with you. Like we need to like go have a secret conversation afterwards and be like, how do we get you out of your inbox a little
Okay.
bit? Is there anything that you would completely stop doing?
This one was a hard question for me. I think that there's not a lot that I would completely stop.
Mhm.
However, I know that and this would kind of go into probably your next question, but I want to stop thinking small, right?
Mm.
And it's really interesting because even recently I was thinking about expansion and what the next steps are and scaling my business. And my first thought was something that was cool, but it was still small. It was still a smaller version of really the big dream. Right.
Mhm.
And I want to really stop thinking so small. I want to keep expanding and allowing myself, even just if it's like on paper now, right? Or if it's in my head now, to actually allow myself to dream that bigger dream.
So does that mean that's what you would start doing?
Yes.
To
And so yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So I want to start to think bigger.
I
Yep.
love that. And even when you say that, I can just feel like this relief
Hmm.
almost like, and I feel like that's a really great point for for like all of us. When we actually give ourselves permission to step into our big dreams, it feels like we've taken off a jacket that was too small
Yeah.
or something like that.
Absolutely.
I'm
Like,
so,
yeah, I always love I think it was Marie Forleo who talked about how just start before you're even ready, right?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, because otherwise it just does never start. Are you allowed to drip any like secret hints about what your big dream is? No
um,
pressure. You can say no. I was just
right. Maybe not quite just yet.
That's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, sometimes we have to brew it up inside of ourselves before we're ready, but I'm good on you, sister. Go big.
Thanks.
But really not even go big, but like you said, go into expansion. And I
Yes.
think there's a different energy around the concept of big versus expanded, because it feels softer and more gentle and easier
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
flow
I love
into.
the word expansion. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, and then what would you keep on doing?
Keep working with just my beautiful, creative, amazing clients. I get so much joy out of working with them each and every day, and hearing their success stories, and then also even working through some of the more challenging times. And all of it is just such a such an honor for me, to
Mm,
really get to be on this journey with someone, because your financial life just really is that reflection of your life,
mhm.
um, and when you're able to take care of it, it takes care of you. And then when you start to actually earn more money, then you see your own growth, and you see your own self-worth like continue to go up as well.
And it's almost like that is equally as valuable as growing the finances, but like
Yes.
that internal personal growth and expansion that
Yes.
people can go through by learning the lessons and the wisdom that you have to offer and bring them. Oh, that's like almost priceless right there.
Yeah, yeah, it's so
Absolutely.
exciting because yeah, and then that's what's so interesting too. Is like so many times I've seen clients that it's not just their financial life that gets really much better, but then they're also their personal lives. They'll like start really beautiful relationships and get married and have kids, and all of the things that they were hoping and dreaming about when we first start the process. Like it starts to happen for them, through this process of growth as well.
Like I just like it's magic.
Mhm.
I just feel this beautiful magic energy coming from you, and I can feel the work that you do being so incredibly useful and valuable to people. And I am absolutely thrilled that some of our friends who go grab spiritual support for entrepreneurs can also get your 1 hour coaching. Do you call it coaching session?
Yep. 1 hour
Your
coaching.
1 hour coaching session, like that is amazing and generous. So y'all need to run over there and grab it before we run out at theentrepreneurauracle.com. And remember, entrepreneurs, you are not in this alone.
Mm.
Katy, thank you so much for hanging out and talking with me today.
So this was so amazing and fun. I love talking to you.
Awesome. We'll see you again soon. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.